The Torchlight Jumedi Ewo Nits 100.9. The Torchlight Jumedi Ewo Nits 100.9. The Torchlight Jumedi Ewo Nits 100.9. The Torchlight Jumedi Ewo Nits 100.9.
Yama kwa be de ba neat 100.9 so enanwumre e de ba dwumadi aye fe the torchlight so torchlight said the onimde de bre waye benada ene ya wada bia eti enanwumre so yatena si na ye baba bidi ye ho komo ye beka nsema yetimi e de chechire oman no ye baba behwe nsema hodo a ekoso e waye man mu na said the wonim no businesses enoma ekosan enano no obeka ya yene eye Traders Advocacy Group Ghana for tag for Kasai. Yene Vehicle and Assets Dealers Union for Kasa. Mekanya disi so say eye Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Woman so akasa. Ni nyina ne fa eye noama ekoso ewo yemanyimu. Efa eye the business community. The title wa mekra noama edibo manyimu. Ohawa hodo a omufem eto akodo a womutua say businesses ekosan ewo yemanyimu eyade a eha adwen yie papa na yehwe se kwan ben so na yebetimi afa na yetimi dey address the situation because ye can say business community ne nko yi a wo na bi ka ona me so bi ka me. It is a woman soon. Aban no adwen say no aban the budget 2024 budget aban de kwakoto ye Ghana mrahye bedwa fie ana de kwakoto Ghana yanim ewo ye Ghana mrahye bedwa fie no considerations ben na say aban no budget ne the finance minister no gina mampanyin na nem no president the aman considerations ben ena say aban no efa the budget ne ho eti ene anwumre yewo Food and Beverages Association of Ghana wo general secretary ene owo yenchen ewa ha ora Samuel Agri owo yenchen ewa ha ye baba bidi nkomo na yatoto ne yebisa sedia enoma ekoso ewo mo sector ho womo edi statement edi ba bonten statement no mo de ba bonten no enoma ben ena ewom edie no mo pese aban ne nye nyina ne yade a ye ba bedwedwen ho ananwumre ewo neat 100.9 it and special guest ba kwa watena se aye Samuel Agri oye the general secretary of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana oba hase sara so edemehwe edemo se Kofi Akpalu nso ye founder and leader edema eye Liberal Party of Ghana LPG odoso ye hwe edemo se oba beka ye ho ebudwumadi so na onoso ye no have discussions efa yamanyosem ho ebebo ama oman Ghana etimi etumpon amana konkan memo akwaba edeba torchlight so ewo neat 100.9 midin de Jerry OSEI AGYEMANG Media seda bema eye IK champo bomichidom ewa ha Pius Bedo Banse na omi obene wani Abdullahi Dasmani so meda omase kwesi abwaje me channel manager Dr. Faradex na oye executive producer so ko Facebook so live eye neat 100.9 FM neat 100.9 FM Sarah so na ko ye YouTube channel na and also despite media and also that is on the YouTube channel no then also wo adwen chire bia na wo de ato ne atwe na yakenkan bibia na de amount ewo neat 100.9 so me mo bibia kwa aba edeba torchlight dwumadie esom yankwa ne ma eye Samuel Agri akwa aba sami me mo akwa aba
ya joso
meti on kanche
pa
na bibia ko say Food and Beverages
yo me fan friends
enchia
kese ma with your phone na your friends and profile water region so
yes I'm going to say water region in fact
nyama be ko yi am because emremo away emrepa akoba ni say nsuo to na say afi so no flood no so esen ebeba say ko ya natural way dia nanka baka say nyama
be yusu ama ma same enyusu first one na cameras and so intimate and capture the okay over tomato as
natural disaster no ebe hu kwan ebe fa so na kwa man be there then the nation has a lot to put in place so that almost suffering no will not come to not the empire never straight they say onkro mu kakra yeah buy edwumadi so your friends and your taxi in fact ube kaya ya po kokosa tembia ebedru budget no e raise issues edi industry nya nanka ebehwe sa ban ebedu samre de nka ono so behwe na what it in be and also obi introduce new policies ebe regulate system in a better way but unfortunately no ne ebe nyina no osementi aga ba yeso enjai ka ebe koso ani aka esan say wo hwe from the time for instance 2017 nema ACC FI for instance taxation no basi for instance 2020 moving forward ni nyina no nanka ye hwe say this will be better for doing business and also for the businesses that we have. Unfortunately, the taxes keep on coming. We don't know what is coming tomorrow. As in Tuanamompa, Anchraban say, Kwaya Odia Fasono, in Jumegu, Intino, Fese, Webo Modiana, Waya Humbibi. Intino, Kokoyebo Abayani, and say 2024 budget Eban. When him say other friends institutions Nina Ubia ascending your friend is saying input akoma by. So on share. But Nina no from my own experience, no. A BC say Obesha say Nema and I say policies on introduce here na MYN no coming 2024 no. Ebesha na yes mu kakra nya sadia ye de foforo beka ho a ebe edin okay amaye ntino omo so omo de omo petition akoma aban no ebe hwe so omo so ebebo your friends ombe ye hu dede no na aban hu say in fact ye nyina na enyi abre esan say sectors ni nyina ebre ntino yan hwe ni yi at the end of the day no consumer na ye hwe say ye ordinary na say the citizens of the country no ISF woman no ye pe bibipa so mbenya asetrapa no enkoba ne sa na afi ebi eba be fa ho esanso hianti no omo asetram mo ba be yedin ama omo nti ne be hwe se 2024 no aba be consider ne ma na ye raise issues na ye raise ni nyina no na obetu ho anamo esanse okoye ne sa dia ebeboa na ye ho enyihan because wo hwe your friends saying budgets are introduced here 2022-2023 budget.
Yeah.
A year your friends saying income tax, excise duty, and then
sustainability
bill.
Yes.
And also by now Ninano it goes to affect industry a lot and business in general. Intino say I'm sure na in Tuanamompa Amasanyama we nano anye ye dia na chese be dia mai esan se wo hwe your friends
and the challenges been at the abram
challenges ni say ukukromo at least who say cost of goods have gone up prices enye easy view and before answer prices ni nyina be cost e be depend the kind of taxes that you introduce intino timbia ka say the taxes ne beba ehia se beba na mmom ne se ehwe sectors ebetumi amasa ne ma no aye because it sounds your chromonum so many areas for honum we call it gray areas honum taxation no is almost zero in that area anka ebetumi ahwe na yetumi increase anase kakra ebetumi introduce amamuso etua no ebeboa unfortunately what we see is nkrofo omotua tax na dada no tem bia ban here sika no it goes to these same people increase the taxes for them to pay intino ekoba ni sa ebedin na ekodru pempeso bia we cannot absorb anymore intino say when to me amana engina bibi egina no na okase me san akwakohwe say him fa na mesan nye sika foforo e de aba then you would then have to look at your friends saying businesses no ni industries ni other sectors are omono etua taxes omo ho chire omo dada no you know myriad of so many problems ni nyina no ema ye ho a chance because wo hwe emremu a 2017 government take you over no the core mandate and say obehwe na Ghana for ho chira ye komu no
ya ho behind
yeah unfortunately no it has been so worse we beka say from bad to worse into no say onankasa and to ho na bon papa anhwe say ne ye koi say ye twi break yenko yensan ko yechi na yenhwe say eden ne betumi aye afa ho as say promises are politician bi abeye ye beto aba manaba your friend saying abamu no senka timemufo no ye hold wo responsible because promise bi obeye bia no wo ba say hwe say wotumi aya na say wontumi anye nso mo ba na say ye kan ye de politics na ye ka say oba no we wo ho no eden no ye we su ba no eden no wotumi aye but that is not the case. We must make them accountable to us. Say nebeya they will not come and make vain promises they cannot fulfill because then industries so you can say you bet aban no anase industries bet thrive anase oman no ebe gina ni naso a ni nyina ye ejuma nti no aban ankasa no enni my friend say only business in setting up a company you create the atmosphere for the private people to come in and invest. Na say omoba na so mbe invest pe wono o taxes no be ye ejuma because they will start paying your internal revenue, paying those taxes that you want workers no friends revenue amoso and I say IRS or ombetua ama aban no. Say sika ni nyina no ebeba ho. Na fe no hwe areas a wo ankasa so no you can raise money to develop. Na ekoba ni say sabande ne ho be share business ni mu a no kasa pay business na ye profit ama and as or compete with the private sector then becomes a source of worry because ono say no be hu no enye sa na private sector so ebe hu nti no kwan bia so no say ade friend no setting up businesses because I need to help certain people no aban no eso yi ne hu free no boa say na be ya private sector and bit me I expand it because they expand industries expand na say you share sanema way now the good thing about it is say the country will be self-sufficient enough food security wise will be self-sufficient and our export will also thrive in crofobit me abakrom hanum ababe produce at their core as a no free zone area no and so we share nema edi enya be electricity water and other taxations now then you ask yourself am I really making it or not? Am I doing the business for government or not? And you know what am I also making out of what I am doing? Because now you always have to borrow to supplement what you are giving to government and then make sure say within the next 5 years and now whatever budget and that's a goal that you set, you'll be able to meet your taxation, your friends saying payment in the same manner. Sometimes most of these businesses, they are not able to meet the targets, but they are forced to pay the taxes because if you don't pay, GRA will come after you. One year crowd business, they are struggling to pay that. There are so many companies in the system. They are not up to date with their tax payment.
Okay.
Because they are not able to. As a sector, and say every sector anyway. And I make my just say business in general. Taxation almost about 70%. in general, which are 70% as taxes.
As taxes.
I'm a government.
Okay.
Then what are you putting back to expand your business?
And a baby say na no sign a beka.
So, intino obia ono a baby won't say abrofono and I say foreign investors no. When they come into this country, they have enough money. Almost scan kobo position. And omo de buy into omo bana say juma na nko yi ama omo pe. Then there will be a strain of problems that they have to deal with internally and external. Intino say taxes ni kwa too much. No mo ka say into me into ya and I say into me into ya taxes are. Then immediately they start to revise whatever plan that they have and then cut down on their production system and then pack off and leave the country. Oh, until such a time they feel say, oh, okay, a bit me as but one thing a year as a feminist say you share investments and crop now. Sometimes you ask yourself, is it because of the tax system that I'm going to fold up and leave? Because what's your investment I want kasa why factories are always here. You look at the value that you have put in place, and then you have to leave and go, or you have to sell this business and go. You know, no. Sometimes I don't say they go around the West African zone or within Africa to see where they can relocate their businesses. When they find an amicable place, no more say this place will help. Feasibility studies are good, then they will reconsider to open up another branch in this area. If they succeed, they fold up what you have here. And I've been more on also. They will liaise with the external friends and partners. Nema ye kradebano and I say produce you. They bring them from outside and then come and sell, just to make sure say what they are producing will not make run into losses. And I say they will run at a loss, and at the end of the day, they have to fold up. A lot of them do side by side import. No say Koban is a pet. Now for a creative problem. Some time ago, me ba me catch you say, your tomato sector. Enka. By this time, some factories here we have our tomato farmers thriving. They produce, harvest the tomato and give it to these factories. Unfortunately, tomato no up to now the quality of tomato that they are growing. So almost harvest I check 3-4 days. Now I start April because viscosity very high. And now the sad side of it is that yakra tomato concentrate from outside near Babe Philly in the sachets, pouches, and in tins. Send a beya, Yabeka say made in Ghana, and Ghana is producing tomato. It's not like that. But because they need to survive, they have to do this. And unfortunately, you will be one, so they are also producing tomato, especially these Chinese factory companies are when we say they are taking advantage of the system at the expense of our friends saying companies now, or their tax compliance. So they take advantage of the system and then produce at the blind side of people and then give us put ready goods on the market in Sanya money now. And there are so many things we need to look at. Now, yes, I say taxes, acquire too much. And we need to bring it down. If you take the port, for instance, taxes are all honorable.
Taxes
almost about 21 different taxes on one item before you can clear your goods. Now, what the container bar, now say you need to pay 65% of the cost.
Yeah.
Then what kind of business are you coming to do to make sure say you also succeed in your business that you do? And as what the raw materials say, the cost of it against the city is also a big problem. And so about share electricity, about share water, also about share taxes. Now, government will not ask you, did you make profit or made losses? But they are on you. making sure say you pay them the money, but whatever comes as a loss, nobody's interested. So that is the worry of some of these businesses that we are talking about. And, there are so many things that we need to look at as a country before we can move forward. Because we share a recent report, Bank of Ghana,
Edibine, okay.
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah.
Say import has gone down almost about 40%. So 40%, is a total failure on government side because they cannot raise that revenue on that 40%. It's a complete loss. Just imagine, say, Ukrainian managers are 40%. You're able to raise about $1 million or $1 billion within that period. Now, that 40%, is not more coming. That 1 billion is not there. That 1 billion will not come. Internet just say you've made a loss over there. You find a way to make sure, say, whatever that you are putting in place, nobody will suffer the consequences. Because now colleagues on the other side, like I say, we need to look at safeguarding the Ghanaian industry. As I say, people are bringing in an import that is hurting the local industry. We cannot be able to that. Baby say money and I say I produce. Do we have an alternate for those products? If we have, what are we doing about it? So, because say reduce the benchmark value. Microphone to me, Nema Bonye for Kakra microphone. Even also say reducing the benchmark value. What it means is the Ghanaian industry will suffer. But I beg to differ. Ghanaian industries are thriving very well within the capacity of the space that they have now. What we have to look at are the taxes that we are paying, the cost of borrowing. Because you cannot go and borrow at 39% and then you come and invest in your business and think that you can make profit. At the end of the day, you have your staff to pay. You have so many things to take care of. Until when you go to borrow at that point now, how can you survive? Then we also have electricity and water.
Utilities.
Oh, it is Anyama way. Yet to make sure Anyama will not say for local industries now. Then we then have to say fine. Because these things are there, have been reduced for the interest of the local manufacturers to survive now. Then we'll see what capacity they can do because they can expand their businesses and employ more people. But unfortunately, the antecedent that we have today will not allow them to do that. And, it's not the benchmark that is hurting it because if it's the benchmark, and increase it, just to make sure that nothing comes in. But when you do that, there's also an international convention that also frowns on what you do. Intino is okay. Intino, obi bisa one question is say, obi produce UK.
Okay.
And your friends saying US, and United Arab Emirates, and Turkey, and China. Now say, or produce it at let's say $1. Not the same thing you produce or then it will cost us $3. Then you ask yourself, but why is the imported one cheaper?
That no get cheaper.
So then what goes into it? What goes into it? Money a year $3. I know I say but then you don't say because this one is coming at a cheaper cost. I have to increase it because the benchmark system. The easiest way to explain it is say, what do you ban? I buy to assign a ton amount at a different price. In the price not the amount, it could be 100%, it could be times 2 of what you bought, it could be 1.5 of what you bought, it could be 3% of what you bought, 3 times the value of what you brought in. So I don't know. Until that is the system of the benchmark value now. I don't need your money, Oh, but we have to look at it. We have been saying, say, we say rice because we consume a lot of rice. We do import a lot of rice too. But what do we do to cut down the production of rice, the importation of rice? So I don't know.
Yeah.
We must then put in place systems. The local people with chance on those friends advantages that you put before them. Now, omo produce, no more produce so you abandon our benefits. Then because you see, let us use the approach of the Joseph approach. And only saying we must have a foresight of storing food.
Yeah.
So that tomorrow when hunger comes, we can release that food for the people to eat at a cheaper cost. But not when hunger comes, you go and buy food at more expensive value. It's not right. So at the end, depending on what approach you take, you get the positive result. But if you don't take it right, the negative results will come. And that is the approach that we have taken as a country. And we are getting the results that we are getting today. Because if you say taxes and never solve your problem. Taxes and never solve your problem. But the question is, if I'm doing that, now me can say me share in Crawford, I'm friends saying more life easy amount more. And then I'm still imposing the taxes on them. When I cannot increase the value of their income. So therefore, the things that are coming in, I'm taking so much from them. But the money that they earn is still lower. So at any time, Biana will be increasing. That same small money that they have also go back to you as a government. No music can be no.
Swanete.
Oh, I used to work I used to work for a company. Now, expert, they pay them so much. Now, local people, they pay us less. Now, the question I asked them was, why is it that you are paying these people so much when we all eat the same food and drive the same car to office? And when you come to the office, you do more and they don't. So I don't know. So what is the dynamics here? Also, because they are experts, they don't eat our local food. But when it's break time, go back the line. You will see the same food. But then if you compare yourself to the salaries that they earn, it's so much, huge, so huge. Your friends say differentials. So I don't know. Because the system itself seems to fight against the local people.
The local people.
Because why daily allowance and I said daily wage, which is pegged at maybe $2, and I said $1. So now expert in the bar or no Ochia and Crawford according to how much they pay them in their country. But when they come, because you have made your system so loose, then it will happen. They say, Abine say, Mema will say. It is a Mema 100 cities crown say, Abine the near, Ete Ghana. What law have I found? It means you are within the system. Until no Emma or more, you have to take that advantage and keep quiet. But the system itself, which has been set up by the government, fight against you. And if it's fighting against you, how do you gain? How do you gain as a person? But every day, Biano, with a small scanty salary that you have, they keep on increasing the taxes so that you become what? You keep on becoming the loser. Because if I'm earning 800 cedis and electricity, every week I have to buy 100 cedis. At the end of the month, I'm buying 400 cedis. Half of the money is gone. Your transportation, your rent, your water bill, your feeding and other things. So at the end of the day, if you are not careful, the person who is surviving so much in your business that you think you are paying him so well, but then you also find ways and means to make more money because so we need to set up the systems right and make sure the companies that we have set up, we make enough money to pay these people well, so that when you are capping the daily wage now, you know all the taxes that I'm giving or as incentives I'm demanding for they are so less they are making so much money, so they should be able to pay But when you do it that way, you think, say, then I have to use the other way around to go and take the money from them through taxation, which is very, 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 very bad approach. Because at the end of the day, you seem to be correcting the situation. By the end of the day, we will say we're creating more problems. Because if you need 100 cities, thinking that 100 cities will give me that satisfaction as a government to do what I have to do. Into numerezi, because they wouldn't have that money to spend. That your 100 cities will not be achieved. Until at the end of the day, will have come back to square zero. Because you are selling 4 oranges to get the value of 100 cities. When you have to sell 10 to get 10. Until this is the approach that we are today. We are selling 2 oranges to get the value of 10. When instead of selling 10 to get the value of a higher value for what we have put out there. Unfortunately, this is what where we find ourselves as a people and as a government. And if we are crying, say there are so many things that we need to look at, that we need to. Let me give you an example of our tax system, value-added tax.
Okay. Well, maybe the example of value-added tax. Now, how impact the business community. Abusana make out say Samuel Agree or ye General Secretary of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana or no yeneno in common. A by reversal of the benchmark value at the end of the other. It's a hardship number. That's one of the components.
Okay. The hardship number because if you are importing at 100% cost, obviously when you come in, you also have to then pass on the cost. Nti oda bana wo aye wo cost no. Bibia no obetumi aye.
Yeah.
And say ube increase. Ani aka say na me kan earlier no. You can say you increase here na local industries. Let me give you an example. In 2015 and 2016, our sitting president used Calipo as a product that when it comes, send a year ton at 1 cedi 20 pesos. We should sell it below. Until in Kabeba down, I say by 50 pesos. So that the little money that you earn, you could afford food. Unfortunately, today, when you go out there, that same product now you can want some. And there is 4 cedis, 80 pesos, 5 cedis, 50 pesos in some places, depending on where you are buying. The list is 4 cedis, 80 pesos. Intino, say what product say na uoba anankwala mienu awode omuko school. And you have to fill their lunch bags
every day.
Snacks. That's a auto 4 cedis, 80 pesos. Auto biscuit at the cost of 2 cedis, which is the list. And now 1 cedi 80 pesos. Because back on 1 cedi 80 pesos, which is the list. Now ubemanu feeding anopa. Wasan akomano lunchtime. Wasan kutuya maybe 8 cedis and not 10 cedis for the lunch. That morning alone, you are parted with almost about 30 cedis. How much is your income? Until the call from the president, say, "Yeah, Baba, yeah, I'm Ghana for who I hear now. The common basic things that we need at home, which is food, which is very important. Now we cannot afford that. Then there's a problem. Where did we go wrong? This is where he himself must sit and ask myself, what did I do? Or what are we doing wrong that things have escalated this way?
And yet what your friend is saying, the global challenge
it has nothing to do with global challenge. See, Obi Okra Emodeban. Say Okra shipload, they're costing $1.2 million. And Obinya Biana 1.4. Unless there's scarcity, Because when the demand is high, then the price
also goes high.
It doesn't change too much. But then you can stick to that 1.2 million for a very long time. So I don't know. But if it's in Ghana here that we are producing that same rice, within the space of 5 years, and now 2 years, the Ghana rice that we are promoting to make sure, say, it takes over the imported rice because the quality is good. Now, from 28 Ghana cedis, it's almost about 1.2. So look at the difference. You can say, increase benchmark value to make sure, say, the local industry survives. I beg to differ, say, that is not the cost. It's the cost that they have imposed on us, the taxation system that we have, the economic, your friends saying, policies that has been introduced. These are the things that are killing us. As I say, obi production will come hanuma. Even if you have the raw materials, the very moment petrol goes up, where you are going to get your raw materials at the farm gate, they also increase.
One big increase because in terms of transportation,
you see, so how can the local industry survive? When electricity goes up, when water goes up, when the taxes that you are implementing, you don't cut it down, but keep on increasing. How do you expect them to survive? And you say it's benchmark. So you are making it overhaul, making unnecessary profiteering here. We don't know where the money goes to. And then there's local industry suffers. What we need to do, Anka just have benchmark value. We should use it to cut electricity and cut the cost of water and cut down taxes for the local industries for them to survive. Because increase it benchmark. So when you do that, what it means, they can also survive and their business will expand. They employ more people to the merit of what you expected to do. But unfortunately, this is not the case that we are seeing. They have rather imposed on us after the benchmark value. You come and then on the ground, it's a different story. So you ask yourself, has the benchmark value come to help us? No, it hasn't. It rather has aggravated our situation.
And you think about food inflation also, sir?
That is it. That is it.
But we change inflation and food inflation, was too much.
Yeah. A bear was through, as I say, who will be beat to say COVID tax or system new. You catch us say, this is not as. Oh, yeah, and Kauka say, NHIS, no. And NHIL, yeah. Ako, with the 1% account. Send a bear, we can expand the medical, your friends saying, facilities so that more people can benefit. Because yare bi a want to mean your way no breast cancer and your friends saying pregnancy this your friend is saying diabetes this side money now you go to hospital and you can be taken care of because we are able to raise enough money to do that. But unfortunately, what the couple are there no we say friends and COVID. And there, which country charges COVID? It's a big disgrace to this country. It's a big disgrace because no any part of this world, no village in this world that you go, you see COVID on their taxation platform. But unfortunately in Ghana here, it has been imposed on us because we are so quiet and people don't talk. And when you talk, they say you are doing politics, you are doing that. It has nothing to do with politics. The reality is what we must face. Is it right for us to charge the COVID tax? Is it right for us to go to the port to go and pay NHIS, network charges?
Network charges.
If I'm doing something at the port, which you government has put in place and have to come and benefit from, you charge me for the network, the internet usage.
Internet usage. Says how network charging the internet usage.
That is it. You charge me for it. Then allow me to do my own thing in my house. So when I sit behind my computer, I don't pay for those charges. So when I
say
that
penny sika no asa ka che ne say network na me use the charge e wo no.
O the charge e wo. Network no say me timi fie na me use a. Me na me koto me data. And I me dey here because all these agents friends saying clearing agents no. Most of them work from their home. They don't use the government platform. So when you come and say they should pay network charges, it has to be passed on to me, the business person. Then what are you trying to imply? These things must go off. These things must go off your friends saying import bill. It has to go off. The presidential special levy, it has to go off because we don't know for what purpose this money is serving. It has to go off. 1%, it has to go off. So when these things are gone now, that's 65%. No, possibly it might come to 25 or 30, 45 or even 38%. Because these are the things that we are paying so much taxes on.
Okay. Now what can be say which are and the Bank of Ghana reports imports are a bomb mono about from ampa oko your ports and so on to me who say volumes in air bano about from a DNA a year the contributing factors and no and only at the end because they say no and no ama nanka what de ba last year and no ama yemfa say 40-footer a year used your friends vehicle ties lorry ties which ya be let's say 48,000 Ghana cedis said duty a wutu ya not the same 40-footer now what they ba a year this year last year and quite about October but this year it be do be April May more baby and you are paying about 146,000 it's a normal be na a year yes huh exchange rate no e ka ho bi e den na amana year yes huh
yo number 1 the exchange rate no play the factor. Number 2 the government's own imposition of those taxes. Say more than money ba you are making good money so you have to pay me good money. You don't think like that for business people. Because if you say you are making good profits and therefore I need to take some of that money, that is why you are increasing those taxes for them to pay. You know, we raise it with duty no cost through the whole West Africa. You won't check it, your friends say taxation system. You can see what Ghana is doing. Now, if you raise it, how do you expect say? One now we ordinary consumer, no? You go and then you get the tire, your friends and the tire at a cheaper cost. Definitely you buy it at a high price. Because we don't produce tires in this country. But we have people importing new tires for sale. How much are they paying on the taxes? So if you are bringing the used tire and you are discouraging it so that they will not bring it into our system, then ban it completely. So that the new tires that are coming into the system, when I go, I can buy the same as the used one that I used to buy. But here's the case, if you try to cut off so that people can patronize the imported one, then the imported one also escalates almost about 10-fold. So what do? You cannot survive in such an economy. You can't. So, because in Crawford, Nankasa try to say a best solve problem, we have rather created a problem for the people. As I say, if the tire is costing you 10 cedis, your systems be put in place, which is good. In that area, your friends say, can tell where, and I say, disposition of old tires.
Okay.
And you know, what the tires na banana be used old. Oba be used to enche. It will go off the system to create environmental nuisance.
Nuisance, yeah.
And you know, the EPA also put in place fine. What the beba? These are the charges because at the end of the day now, you used to turn it to go. Somebody must do the cleanup. So what you pay, will go to take care of that cleanup, which is okay. But what is government business saying, say? because you are making so much, we have to increase, and then we also take some of the money. It doesn't make sense at all. We must look at it, say, those having the cars, they can buy the tires at a cheaper cost. Because if we are producing, if the Bonsa tire factory is working in this country, then you will be justified of doing that. You will be justified. Say, because of, say, our factory, we all no more producing enough tires, then I have to increase the tires from here so that these people can do that. But even that money, when you take it must go to augment whatever losses that they are making. But you don't take the money and consume. You take the money to support that industry. But this is not what we are seeing. We take the money. For what reason are we increasing? For what reason? If government expenditure has not gone up, then why? Because you create the atmosphere for you to raise your consumption pattern. And then we suffer for it. Because we are in this country and we are feeding a government appointees. So people come to power within a short time. You see them buying homes, houses, buying cars, and not cheaper cars, but they buy cars, very expensive cars, and park them at home. You go and see them because we have created an atmosphere for them to do that. And we don't ask questions why and how did you come by this money? How did you come by that? How did you come by that? We let them do what they like and work out for free. So the easiest way to become rich, you need to become a politician, and within overnight, you become what you are. So which shouldn't be the case. We must look at the people that we are, because of them we came to power.
Yeah.
We must look at their welfare. Are they living good? Do they have peace? When they sleep, do they get their friends saying the square meal are so munyano? Nkwalano omunya say aduane ni di. Medically, are they fit? When they go to the hospitals, are the drugs there? Are the hospitals enough to accommodate the sick people? These are the things that government must look at, so that you leave the business atmosphere for those who must do business. So and then take your taxes.
Okay, Yegusugane a Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. One General Secretary ni yene no idin common. Ni nyina ne fa said ya enwama etie the business community to ahodo a yitua wo mekra enwama de bo manyimu wo meye business wo ye manyimu be hwa nan say the business community wo mo kasa pa guta kasa importers for kasa importers and exporters traders advocacy group wo share your Food and Beverages Association o hwa aboso kan for just say we share all the sectors. Obia eisu enwama ekoso port GRA for most GRA for the emranche ne baba one be aba betena tena mo ho ana
say omaba before oko Rwanda so we are here no especially the retail outlets. Even the manufacturing sector they are always there. Manufacturing sector is in there, they are always there, but the retail line they bring the officer just to come and see your daily sales pattern.
Yeah.
The way I call it. You huni na na fini program or system now. It means if you are making 100 cedis a day and you are not able to declare, and you say you make the sale of 50 cedis, then the taxation system will be based on the 50 cedis. So they put their personnel there to check whether what is being declared.
Declared no.
Correct, and I say correct. Mino, masama mechanics EVAT, good, but the flaws in there, you don't blame the people because you yourself have not done a good job. I'm ribina make one say. Mukoya, you coach TB no say or more system na way. When you have a system failure, how do you blame people for it?
Now one more flaws in there.
Flaws, no, you see. You must ensure, say, whatever you put in place is flawless. And the mistakes that will come over time, you give yourself a period to accommodate because they are bound to happen. since the introduction, people are not used to. So they are bound to happen. And you know, oh yes, I have friends saying systemic change. You know, you would then have to accommodate any flaws that come in. But then, if these things happen, say what I put in place, no, is not working. The network is also another problem, because if the network is not good, what happens is you go to customer A. Now, you know, who expect to say receipts are or no printing over a period. No, it should follow by serial numbers. Now there's a break in there. You ask yourself, at that period, no, was the system working? Even now, sometimes when you go, you realize their network also fails them. So if the network goes down, there's no way GRA is going to get that information that they want. And you know, your team machine or monitor, no, the very moment I'll be say BB alcohol wrong, you call to find out. I'm seeing this, and what are the challenges that you are facing over there? So then and there, you correct the system. Or if you have to send a personnel there to go and assist them to do that, then you do. Because this thing that you brought along, it's not that government is giving them free internet to work. They have to pay from their pocket. From the very profit that they are making, they use it to buy the internet charges that you are talking about. So I don't know. So if there's a failure there, whom do you blame? You don't blame them. You go and solve the problem. So that at the time, now there's no flawless, the system is flawless. Then we all give ourselves thumbs up. But unfortunately, you are facing problem and you are blaming somebody for it. When it's no fault of theirs, you blame them for it. And then you create the sin as if, say, they are selling cocaine in their premises, and therefore you have to take the police with guns and go there and go and arrest them. For what? For what? Satam no yes I didn't crap on because if you put all the infractions together, it's not even 5,000 Ghana cedis. Put all the infractions together, and because of this, you spoil people's reputation. Because our tax system has been designed as if those paying the taxes are criminals. No.
We are
working for you.
The congenial atmosphere, no.
You need to pamper them so that they can come forward and pay.
Yeah, pay.
So, you can say, individually, we need to come forward and pay our taxes. But the thing is, we compare ourselves to the US, we compare ourselves to the UK, we do that. Good. Those taxes that these people pay at the end of every year, when they ask you to file for your tax, you need to. And when you file, when you go, they give you a check in return.
A check representing
some of the money that has been returned. Must be returned to you. So they pay you some of the money that you have paid. So I don't know. When I'm sick, the benefits that I get are enormous. But unfortunately in this country, you're asking me to come forward to pay my tax. But then when I'm suffering and I come to you, I don't get. I mean, as if say, Sikana Media Ma will say, Chiskanu Fatu. And to one.
Your problem, they say, tax na you and yen shed a song for so dear no.
Yeah. And nothing people, but when people know say they are benefiting. If people know say we are benefiting, I didn't know. And they may true maker because I know at the end of it, there's something that will come back. So one come then it becomes a penalty. But here's the case that you are not able to hold people accountable for not paying their taxes because you yourself, you are not able to give them whatever they are supposed to get. And then those expatriates, we keep on threatening them. Because when you are an expert and you come and invest in this country, it's as if you have come to sentence yourself. Because when you don't pay one tax component, they will treat you in a way you wouldn't like. And because you are a foreigner, you will then have to find money to pay. When you come and audit my account and there's a problem, you need to explain to me where the problems are coming from. But here is the case, they don't even explain to you why you defaulted here, and therefore these are the things that we are seeing. And the formula that you use in doing the calculation, you don't even tell them, but you ask them to pay more. Into who say why you be BA now we could your tax now, why you be BA no? When the auditors come, then they also come and even give you almost about 50% of what you have paid. So when you pay that money, then it becomes a problem for you because the challenge is that you are not able to. So then you have to use or borrow money to pay them. So, and those paying taxes, look, they must be served like an egg in a golden basket.
Yeah.
Or golden egg in a basket. You see, because they bring us the money.
Yeah.
And therefore we need to treat them well. I have one member, Citidia.
Citidia, yeah.
Once a woman collapse,
Citidia.
Within a short time, they were able to expand.
Wow. Because be branches, all of a sudden
problem being say these people had a challenge with the system of taxation that we do here. And if there's a problem there, what do we do? You call them. Let them understand where our system is different from your system. So this is the way we have to go. So that whatever taxation that they are piling up and they've not paid for, you negotiate with them. So that gradually you take the money slowly. Slowly, when they are paying, say, this year tax number, you have an arrears. Arrears, no. This year, they are not here, no be. Not here, old one, no be. Until there's a my situation, everybody will move forward with it. So that the money that they owe, gradually, they pay. But you don't go in, if you don't pay, I'll close your business. If you don't pay, I'll do this. If you don't do, and then you close the business, they fold up and they will go. That money will become an arrest to you. Because that business, everything that they are owning in this country, they are all renters. They go back to the owner. Can you take those properties? You can't. So they will leave and go, and you will be at a loss. But pamper them, because at the end of the day, they had almost about 1,000 workers within a short time. But the company let them understand how and what they can do and what.
So until that's the reason they city they acquire.
One part of it is that.
Self-line company as a telecommunication. Yeah. And also matter say a tax be a woman increase from a point to be to 60.
So
one might be just say
GRA. Let me tell you, GRA. When they come and audit your system, they know how much you make. But you see, how much I make is the business I'm doing. It's my money. But you don't look at the profit that people are making for you to adjust your tax, for them to pay more. You leave the others. And then come. Because if I come out here and I'm selling my phone, I sell it, I'm able to buy the next. I sell 2, I come, and then by the end of the day, I turn 10 phones. 5 million Ghana cedis. GRA, Westmead said that 10 phones that you sold. Nkawanya Caribbean can say 200 and something Ghana cedis. But which me I 500. It is there. So difference, we must find a way to bring that 500 down, so that you pay more out of that 500. Even after 500, na make sure my taxes ni me BBA. The profit that I have made, that 500, they are still finding a way to bring it down so that they can get more and I get less. Am I working for you? It's my money that I have invested. And therefore, if I make the money, then that is it. If we are a country that has to do with price, your friends saying,
we are not in the price control
regime. In Kanono, when you say phone way, meton I say 5 cedis. There's no way I can sell more than that. Because when you come, my tax system, this is the way. Because I'm paying 20% flat rate. 20%, finish. Until now, I cannot go and put my phone on the market and sell at 30% profit. But the bar, 20% maximum. Yeah, but you can go low, you can go more, the 20%. That one is up to you. But my taxation system is 20%. So whatever you sell, when I come, I take my 20. So then, but once it's a free system that we operate, the free market system that we operate, people are allowed to make whatever money that they can make. Which shouldn't be your worry. So when people are investing and they are making so much profit and you go and audit their account and you see that they have so much money that they are making profit, then you say, why should you make so much profit? It's your failure of your system.
Okay.
So,
Inti you go so yani Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Benefone no omudi nkono. Ye no omudi enkomo na adwumre e wodi 100.9 so. Ye hwe the business community how they are suffering. Na ene de esa aban ne especially ye hwe ni mu se Nyankopon ya adoma November. Finance Minister de 2024 budget statement no e ba betu ye no. Wo de wadwe nchane be fa 050 372 1744 050 372 1744 na yetimi akenkan the amount. What can say now be explaining value added tax be said ya and run it through and it is saying my explanation as you move.
Edinankasa I can say.
Yeah.
Value added tax. Until what it means is you could have BBR, there's no value. But the very moment I offer for sale, then I'm adding the value to it. That is the tax I must add on.
You're supposed
pass
to
it
pay.
on to you. But I don't pay the value, which is the tax, before I offer the thing to you. What am I saying? Maminka, minche muye. Say, yeah, importer. The value has not been added.
Yeah.
There are raw materials that are coming, whether finished or in its raw form.
Yeah.
In Tinaba Bedroom, in my warehouse. That is when I'm going to add my cost. Look at the value of the things that have come, the cost of the goods that have come. Then I will be adding the value. My profit is not the value.
Yeah.
But the tax component,
That's all.
and then that's all. It's at the end that I'm offering for sale that I add that tax. Then you pay you the consumer.
Final consumer.
Yeah. So if I'm passing out to the supermarket or the retail pointer, right from my warehouse, there's no value. There's no other value added. It goes to the retail end. So at the time that the retailer is offering for sale, that is when the value is added.
Okay.
Now, okay, kumi preku. Time. Yeba beye VAT.
VAT, yeah.
At Nukrane is 7.5.
And yeah, it was around, I think 7.5 something like that. Yeah.
Now,
can check.
The system was that at that time, the country has no money. So what do we do? So I know Rollins time. Muntia value no MIA, which is the tax. So when you pay this tax, at the time that you go and sell the product and you take that money, you can then come back and then file your returns. So that government will pay you the money that they have taken from you. And then you knock it off from your profits and the tax that you have to pay. The balance government pays back to you. You see, because they needed money, they were taking the VAT, the value tax also upfront.
Okay.
You see, so they're taking that money upfront. So at this time that we have come, so long a journey, we are here. Why are we still doing this for ourselves? Because when 2017, when they said they were introducing that flat rate, and then the cancellation of the input-output tax. When they did that, So many people lost their money to government because whatever is with government, they were not going to pay again. We lost that component to government. They took it for free. So and then they introduced your friends saying flat rate. Your friends saying 15%, 12.5 increment in a buyer that we have to pay. We continue to that your friends level. So that input output was taken off. So now when you file for your returns, there's nothing like input and there's nothing like output. They look at what withholding taxes that you have done, then they pay that. You pay that either government pays or you pays. But then that system of input output has been taken off. You see, so if these things are not working, let us have a rate that is flat, so that I know from the port I don't pay anything. But when I'm offering the product for sale, that is when.
But when the aqua is what the bar,
now what you know, a bedroom warehouse, you add again. Now when you also come to buy from me, when you take it to your warehouse as a distributor,
also
you are applying all this higher flat rate 4% never count. Then if the retailer like Malcolm is coming to buy from you to go and sell, when they go, then they impose all the taxes again on the receipt. It has to be shown. So they impose, you pay all the taxes again into 3 years.
Okay.
One transaction.
Okay.
Which you are taxed.
My na yeti for na afọ na ti ase. Would they a special IC eba no? Wetua ho VAT e wo port. Me be ba be fa special IC akọ warehouse na me distribute. Na me the value no, that is the amount of money na your friend is saying. Me to the free ho no. Now ma add it on for what percent?
For there be no super add 5% the same value.
The same value.
The same value.
That is a VAT na metua wa ha no.
That's the
same percentage, that's 17.5.
Unless you fall below certain category.
Category, okay.
Then you apply the 4%.
The 4%. That's the flat rate, you know.
Until one discrimination. Then when they come also to come and take from you, to go and sell, they don't apply for a 4%, 4%
flat rate.
They go, they add the NHI, they add the education.
That's 17.5.
Exactly. And then
when they the no port, about between the wholesaler no, the retail point and so.
Until when you fall below that threshold now you are being asked to pay 21%. So because we have calculation in every now you are paying more than the rates at government. Your rates are 21.9. But on the face,
21.9.
On the face, near catch and say 19.8 because you pay the 19 point whatever 5%, then you pay additional 3%. So the call is that let us look at all these things and do some reversal, because our tax system is that because most people are not educated, they are playing this on the backside of our ignorance. And, it's time for us to stand up and ask government to do the right thing. When we do that, everybody will have a good day. Government will have his part, and you also have your part. And yes, they will keep on pushing so many things to us that we have to pay that are not necessary. But because we don't know, we need to pay for. But this is the time we have come to that level we cannot absorb any more taxes again than to ask for a reversal of some of these taxes.
Taxes. It's a say yenhwe adien na mopese abandon reverse yeko yenim year 2024 budget. And I'm be na mo propose.
Okay. BBT say value added fence all the import and levies, duties and levies
now.
Look at it. something like network charge has 5 different components on our import bill. Take it off.
Now, I don't know, or taking over significant.
It's very significant. What network charge? Who is paying for that? Some countries, when you are working in the bus area, in town, you get free network. Free network.
Just to access.
Yes, whatever it comes to. There are some places, because look, if we are being a serious country, so that 2% presidential levy, and then we are asking that one should also go.
Because
the 5 component of your friends saying network charges, it must go. The
1% one more charge, network charge, and import NHIL, about between no network charge. And ECOWAS levy, no.
ECOWAS levy has come to stay. No, there's nothing that we can do. But there are so many countries that are not even paying for this ECOWAS levy. But Ghana was the first to start. Adentia.
Now, what's up between network charge on VAT? And a network charge COVID-19, and you say the network charge now normally as your baby. Okay, get fun. Network charge
and so on. 5 different components.
And a network charge COVID-19 health. But I say no, one more share. Network charge nobody can charge you and so about between COVID-19 health recovery levy no was here.
Exactly. Into when I wait to and what you would do in area, no.
Yeah.
They add the charge over there. All the friends saying NHIL, Ubetia, which you get fund, Ubetia way, and now you best on the account. I'm a witch apart from say which you sanema way. Apart from say which you sanema way. They add it to as part of your duty. You pay.
Okay, it is a say no. I buy no reverse network charges on.
It should go out completely.
Okay.
It should go out completely. Special levy. For what reason is this still in our taxation system? It should also
special levy.
Yeah, it should also.
And that is special import levy 2%.
Yeah. And yes, our presidential way.
And no friends presidential way.
Presidential special levy.
Okay.
You see, it must go. Then we must also look at your friends saying COVID-19.
Health recovery levy.
It must go. The FDA over here, I don't know, it came about because of certain agreements and other things that we need to take care of. So we leave that one. We leave that one over there. But say now you won't say I was Rokakra. Even though Saisika we know, say Omojia Nina Baba, then government dispenses what they have to give them. And you know, as I talk to you now, FDA they are trailing behind because they are not able to do the things that they're supposed to do. They need more hands, but then the funds are not there. And the funds, if the funds are not coming, they'll be forced to raise this value to maybe another percentage. And we are saying, look, already this 0.5% and 0.8% that they are charging is far enough. Far enough. The only thing that government has to do is to increase your friends saying, is it the subvention they call? Whatever money that they give them, increase it so that they can perform their duties in a way that they cannot
FD saying
your import value invoice no.
Yeah, invoice no.
And no percentage in obetia. Import value and sana if we are already your friends saying so taxes ni sana levies ni na account. It depends on what you are importing. They put the 0.5 or the 0.8%.
Okay.
But as it is now, we are not ready to add a peswa. If they go up, we are not going to pay. Government is making enough money. They are making enough money. And therefore, whatever government is taking should give that money back to them so that they can employ more people, buy what they need to do what they have to do. Because you cannot tell me that you have all the accreditations over the world and you are ranked among Africa as the best, your friend is saying, food inspectorate. So I don't know. Now, at the end of the day, you come and you go and there are no facilities there. when they need money, they must fall on agencies to donate for them. We can't run a country like that. They must be given what they need, what they deserve. Let them do what they have to do. Because if it comes to health and food, they are the eye of this country. Because when they sleep, anything can happen to this country.
Yeah. Now, on my community, aduane no, be call my be so now. What the consequence in a better to aduane? By hand, the obe do be the dia. AJ, every is a Ghana Statistical Service. Oma can say your food inflation. No, kwane koso. Kwane koso. Nentimo one district, one factory, and benefit mo. Ana one district, one factory. No products are one more year no. And far more future ana. We don't get it, are they?
Masa. There are some.
Because we don't care. Diana wants them the again, you.
Yeah, my main can't cry woman show. When I get out, they can do anything to me.
Okay.
That 1D1F. If you are being given $1 million, somebody takes $300,000, and there's 700,000 is given to you, but you still have to pay for the $1 million.
Sana 1D1F.
That is what is going on. If the president doesn't know today, I'm saying it.
Hey.
Those who are benefited, they should tell you.
Now,
they should be bold enough to come out.
I'm
telling you what is going on the ground. Because of this, most of them who took that money, they are not able to operate their businesses.
It's not just 30% of Sikana Yadesha 1D1F.
Yeah. If you refuse to name your business, your own business, that they come and tell you, name it 1D1F. This is the support we give you. If you don't, they will make sure your business goes down. If I'm lying, the people, the benefactors, they are there. Interview. Go around and check what is happening. They will tell you. So I don't know which country we are running, and I don't know what they are telling the president. If he is also complicit, then we are in trouble.
As some are working,
yo, and I'm a catcher.
The
purpose of the 1D1F.
Yeah.
Nanka, when you enter into certain areas, the idea would be that we produce so much of this in this area, we won't let it go wrong, spoil. But we'll then have to turn it into a product that it will survive tomorrow. So that the raw materials that are coming in terms of fruits, cassava, yam, and those things, we can turn them into processed food and keep them, export them. But unfortunately, no, that is not what is happening. In local communities now, where they're supposed to put up these facilities anyway. Don't talk about the big ones that we see, the big factories that the foreigners come to put up. I know you're a different sector, because either somebody is partnering them to do that. Because S1D1F, you won't say farmers are supposed to be supported in certain areas. Where are they? Where are the support? The support is not coming. The farmers, they grow their food, they go, most of the things that they grow, they go bad, and nobody cares. Because you can't have a system where we have, your friend is a mango. Seasonal, it comes in glats. We watch and throw them away. Instead of putting up the facilities for the closer to the farmers, so that these mangoes could be turned into concentrates and be kept in those refrigerators. Where is it? So if I want to invest in that area, then what benefits is there for me? This is where I've been saying, sir, in Krofuanka or Mokra Nema Deban, government should sit with them. ABCD is on the table. We look at the capacity. This is how much you are bringing in. The statistics will be available to you. Over the year, this is what you have imported. So therefore, it's easy for you to turn this thing into a local factory. Your partners can come with you. When you come, tax holidays are there. You can put up the machinery. You can put up the manufacturing plants here and then produce in this country. These are the benefits that we also get when you do that. So that people can then invest in this area. You see, we should give them an offer to lure them into manufacturing.
There's a independent bank here, and then say.
Now, you become a criminal and in the face of the tax collectors. But business there, obidin isika babeshe woman a very serious matter. Because oba infaso eso nyano, ese wo safeguard the interest. Now making sure say all ye bia no benya home faso, so that the business will stay in this country. You see? But when they are coming and there are so many strings attached to whatever they are doing, you want a land, somebody also wants some benefits. You want to put up your own factory, a government will tell you, give me this percentage. Is the money for you?
And you ama sa a buying flagship program na yet successful.
Largely unsuccessful. Recently, when they
mutimi benefit be more ya dokodoko die ma ye nuane no mani ade mutimi
banana ayebi. One or two of them are certified for manufacturing plant outside their enclave. Now it's under the 1D1F, and they are producing under the 1D1F. But you see, I know baby ayebu say I know you did me kwa na say can say
I know ya the bobos and ya no one ya did.
You know, that is where the problem is. You are putting up juicy, your friends saying, programs in there, policies in there. Come and invest. You get this, you get that, you get. But when they get involved, then it becomes a problem. How can you set up a factory that you have not even started paying? You are paying or producing, but they're giving you a tax bill to pay.
And then on themselves waivers so.
And then waivers. Those waivers, forget about it. They've spoken about it. It doesn't exist.
Sir, because I remember very well, even Honorable Kennedy Japan, I can say, maybe in Commodium na Oka say, na okra no maybe, Eddie Abom. And no big credit and another, na wa bemono, win him. Send Rama way, Fafa 1D1F line, so na bena tax waivers.
Okay. And you know, now, is it not a deceit? The things are not meant for 1D1F, but use it there, you get the benefits. Are you not taking advantage of the system? It's a deceit. But those who have even set up the factory are being charged taxes before the production is started. This is the gospel truth I'm telling you. Send your people down there, let them go and investigate. And you
one way operating under 1D1F.
Yeah.
On your production, to your tax.
You go down there.
One minute tax holidays.
Investigate. And if you find the truth, what I have said today, be bold enough to tell the people that I came to say this, it wasn't true.
But the problem is, we have to even contact them.
Almost collapse, almost say what led to their collapse?
Because companies will collapse.
Because there were businesses existing already. And you brought the 1D1F. They changed their business into 1D1F. They got the money that they have to get. And the business couldn't survive. You see, if you are running a business from the scratch and they said 1D1F, then you are going in that line. But your business that is existing already.
Existing ones, no?
Yeah, because of the incentive that you get or the money that will be given to you, you go and then you change it to 1D so that you can also benefit. Because if you don't do it, they won't give you the money. And if you refuse to do it, then your business is of the past. Yeah.
Okay. How you need 100.9? You need Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, FAPAC, and I know more aiding common General Secretary, and you need common. It's one song, and Ramate saying, oh, carbon, Teneso, Quacope, Docodoko, DB, the true minimum. Oh, Cope, BB, up to a dear. aya na etesen ti say no volumes are mutimi import no etesen
like the gospel factor part of it, the truthful part of it is that we made government aware. So the path that they have chosen will lead to a disaster.
The
path that they have chosen will lead to a disaster. In December, when your friend is saying the full implementation came, we saw in the first quarter of the year how import dropped. Bank of Ghana this is something that they should have come up about 6 months ago, because it was there, very clear. So if they've now come out to see her, I hope government will take a cue of what they have said and then listen to what the things that we have said. The introduction that you made, that is supposed to drive import up, and then you make your revenue. Import has rather gone down. As it went down, the city hasn't gained its strength.
Yeah.
It is where it is. And most likely, as we are entering December, if we are not careful, we are in October. By this time, people should be ordering their friends saying imports. Should be coming in, so that at least we will see that Christmas is coming closer. When you go to the market, there's nothing there. You see, apart from this cheap Chinese things that you see, things that are really meant for Christmas season or festive season, you will not see them. You see, so this should be a wake-up call. We are not saying this time. It is the Bank of Ghana who has gone out there, because I'm even wondering why they came up with that survey, because under normal circumstances, the statistical service is supposed to tell us exactly what has happened. The finance ministry is supposed to tell us what has happened. But this is not the job of the friends saying Bank of Ghana. But if they have come out to say it, they are an agency of government. They can then listen to them. That should be the gospel truth. If we say it, maybe they will not take it. But this is the gospel truth. The taxation and the import duties has let these people also stop importing certain things.
A port on some of the normal bedroom at a sign. Yes, a paperless year, Juma. I comes or more system in so year, Juma. Nanson, Obeshi crown, where we are to duty a no. Then the baby ababe charo. Ababe catches a normal crowd. When to duty year, it is sign for call back. And son, one move 2 normal ago. A bad son announced out of frustration. There's a wood tree baby.
The problem
customs for ya.
I know the Inca. I won't go bit. Something I won't go bit. Or no nanka, obey to me, I can't. One semper. They are normal. Your friends and give for no way. Or no obey to me, because they are always at the port.
Yeah.
And they know what goes on there. If they will be truthful to say what is happening. There are so many agencies policing one container. So many agencies. You go there, all of them, they said, BNI. One
national
container,
security.
National security, way. What are they doing in the port? If the system is seamless, why are these people there? Even with that, import has not gone up. It has rather gone down. If we are making a call for something to happen, a change to happen now, it's because of what we have experienced. You that brought out the policy, you have not benefited. The beneficiary is the one who is on the ground receiving the end, your friends saying, policy direction.
Yeah.
And if that person comes out and tells you, say, this is the problem that we are facing, you have to take a second look. You shouldn't brush it aside. Take a second look of the problems and then see how best you can correct them. But when they come and make that report and you say rubbish them, it will get to a point it will be a problem. And then o container ba na se belande wotema. Na se wenyi na kodi 14 days and 7 days. One thing you obekọ na auction container. The ocean container na mobi. So these are things that they should look at it and then try to do something about it, because it's creating a lot of problem. It's creating a lot of problem at the port.
Okay, Matthew for Maba Mohona and Koma Yedi also Brana was in Besabia Bisa. And now who experience bia more running a businesses, especially na ye food and beverages for what my mom dedicated line. Money to say a line the yana jamming crop for your magic so. It's I don't know, it's only for the business people. Come ya yedi. Because yet wanna say yeah, you may gugu. Ejuma we no ko, we ba no ko. We ba na ko self line amaka say self line. Be ye ko to e data wa fa sika de koi. Self line ko ni nyina e wase. Obi a hyede brief me e wase. Ye nti a self line. Wa my company ni go ye. Ni nyina na ye to ya. To gidie ya. O mu raise ye sika bia na ye se o mu tuya. Na se sika no bon ho be ye imprensa. Be thrice. To bi ese o mu tuya. Wo mu ntimi na wo mu ye ya na o mu call ye. Eno kra kan wo bi na ma Airtel Tigo. Airtel Tigo. Airtel Tigo ne ade no ye se ko ne ade ni nyina no. Na nya hogunu so. Na nya hogunu so.
Someone's interest.
But to be as a mutual way, it has a crappy and yes, Vodafone MTN for pen or go to guy. It's no more one pen I got system. So, inti when in no again, Sema, that why yes, how businesses will strive. Quanya, it just one more a year, humanity, indigents, citizens, Ghana for Emma. Womo eye adwuma ye betimi o man no ye betimi de support o na nyese ibegu adwuma no nyese ibegu adwuma no okra ne de da wa na ya kan no kra ne da kwa na because say wo meton cars car dealers sofa good for sofa traders advocacy group for sofa aboso kan for sofa your friend say food and beverages for sofa. It's almost hoteliers.
Yeah.
Hoteliers sofa. Hoteliers sofa. You see, other sectors, almost everybody is crying. Well, what is really happening? The DNA koso. You nim say you kwa unye mu de. But say excuse ni de, bread do say no get the besi answer. And that's the realities on the ground. Yanuma you operating radio stations. And there's a 1 year Juma media house be when mu film ya den to say despite media. Child, I'm telling you. People are suffering. Insurance companies. Insurance brokerage companies. Anyway, Yanko man, so into dedicated line here 020 1162746 020 1162746 and only a dedicated line for business community, you know, those within the business space, you know, woman are dedicated a line way at the amamo. Ya can also the ya lines and 03022435540 03022435540. But answer no, my me and cow be now what to fear where you university, Uguta degree, say your first degree, that's okay. Eyadia adwumakuo bi a eye insurance brokerage adwumakuo a eye insurance brokerage iti bomoden se utie mi a obetie na sopem ye pe eye office clerk iti me pa cho obetima your office clerk a bomoden se obefa number yi na wafre 0248 37 61 12 0248 37 6112 and 0244 97 0127. Yepe office clerk. It is 0244 970127 and 0248 37 6112. And this is a no eboro 30 years. No and this is eboro 30 years. And watch so. And now we see VB and obey media fa. Consult rights. Consult. Now the right. Nina boom. Right in here. RIGHT. The consult right 796. Consult right 796. Nina boom at gmail.com. Obey me to see binafa ho. Consult right 796 at gmail.com. Iti Jumaku yepe office clerk and Norma ye Juma out him say I get to answer the Sebi. You move him to Fred 0248 37 6112 and now 0244 970127. As I say, what to me university or recognized institution. Okay, mami ko our manasu na memfa AGYEMA line on from business community no. Hono back. Okay, mebacho memo adio. Hello, Mpacho Majo. Oh, went to me and you know okay, my main call high. Mebacho Majo. Hello, Majo.
Hello.
Yetio.
I don't want to make a job on cover.
Yetio.
You, and you may whether Medawasi. Namin so if you get craving charge FKY, General Secretary Papa, Namin Chan another Danko, President, or you are power. And a free Abricuma also or bad in
oh, Massa, young quay name. Why? I don't know, Miss Ramo. I told you, you're serious. We'll be seeing Miss Round Jati and Mary like the Cagra. Why? Young quay name.
Oh, my young Yabutrama.
Oh, and Yabutrasam, Debbie, I'm a mamutia. I told the beer now, more relaxing or Hona, your quay name. Why? What do you meet you, young?
Okay. Yami, me can say. I just said, yeah, now we are conquering for so much adults to say their father. What do you say? And then get before commission and Casani Panomonamua. Woman did no more church on Crata, so on Mode Mayeno. Get before a commission of Fasonanka. You cannot call Montaya, convince and Capua Farmer Tassano. Yet, Yamo, man, Yabitia, and Puntuma. And then you can't even come to Moon,
okay.
And then I say, one person here is the Alpha and Fidiamuna. One month, after the other say, as about we know how. What you say? And then this can't be a congo for some of the Russian.
And that be Zikako and Crofobotoma, I don't know, a business person and nothing. And that's why you're nothing. Because I say, I saw by the created a congenial atmosphere. Sunday Yanka. Taxes in the where I saw by the free. That's what we mean. Now, oh, quack idea no boy to me about from the amount. Okay, maybe that's my next one. Maybe that's Majo. You tell.
I can't tell where.
Yamia Domboko.
Meto can't tell. I have your media account. Why?
Yo.
Mammy Moa Basso. Menchia Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. You rock Kwame despite me bompire, me Bobby man, papa, because one on one man contagion and also me bompire, me kind of papa. Namishra pa Mike, who Pajuma. Mujidi on Yanko Pomus and then ensure Toyano. And then Cossoning could be Bebro Nana Dui.
Yo, I'm a
Pacho Kaimi, mammy.
my kappa, I just.
I hope. Honorable Mike. Yep, me no money papa no more omudidwa. Me turn here my pa because when him say me your weather. Ti near ma me to the adwuma nyina me to. Omuni me say you rama hama habon watwa ma buru ni omuni.
Oh, me won say find out the name me.
Oh, honorable Mike.
Anya no kra, please. Anya no. Munya dia mo yeme.
Oh.
Aya munya say anu ama we yo.
Tie me yo mo mu ha yenim dia ko.
Ede na munim de ko, ede na munim. Me pacho import duties na ya bobo so no. Eye hwan a waton habo ama buruni ho asem na wo okay.
see duty.
Our papa on tape many hey. Now walk as them we okay on no grammar.
Mike. Akonta nyabotre media aba majimade. Nyabotre. The American say enema ne boaye din a adwadifo koyi container na ne boaye din nyina yewura Muhammad na de sa so we nyina.
Me bacho bye. Universe na minister. Say the discussions na you know. Won't follow the discussions na I think me fa better course na me hwe na na me discussions mu a challenge we twa so ama me. Why? Ya ne bra bere no na ya munya se no ma we no. And ye ka aban no to a ode atoto no ama so ne ye ka we say on Mahama. Former President Mahama. Etuo ya bobo ni nyina ono no former President Mahama no osimu sen e na ode se etuo ne bae. Oh Charlie. Okay. My
Good evening, Mark Jerry.
Yes, sir.
I mean, sir, who bridge my papa? Papa no tell no busy. Wakasa o. You see, dear, mu brano mu kanu preacher Ghana for. Once papa no buy no say Mahama. She say, "Omu say John Mahama dey din obeba." Nti asem no mo takitaki. You are talking about business. Nyama nkoyi, papa no wakasa no ni say nyama nkoyi, won so kanu pre. Business for some year count. You go to ni kuma ni board deni. That is the one here. You can't look at Mama and Musi Mahama. Mama, they are Mama, they are Mukuma. Mama, they used to have bola taxes now. Muji and no cocoa and swear toy, or she. You should give for the beer taxes now. Muji, you move fast, so no one in the air can. My dear, but you are fire by the power manager and I is right because effectively, you know, think of Muji, you would move this kind of yet. Yamisa upon what you want.
Better. Ma befa ofufra audio beba jo memoajo
Magari nyame aso ndi kawo
enka so yetio
emi de pass udi jadi funu na udi abetra because mi so mi di gari ba magari adi ba ku ya hami aya to bi ana mi ka se because sempa boy ya ton ebi amukoni amomu duty ni ba foma wan yen di funu kasa no adi ba ko e hayo sadi na hu duba bi no mo se port won be ye sa hibi no mo lift su kakra mo mu ba ani pa no kori ya yisu manu a so ba na price na odi money enra na na sa pepe no ba de to money any na problem no wan enti se gadi funu so mo ko ba bi na ba na yisu mo o ma yeso ye to adi no mo saro cause me e fo mi try ni sika mi di be ko mi ko fa ni na o mo di be ba ni yeso atobi ba adi no mo di ba ni ya kisu mo ma price no mo di mai na no be sa di mai na ba na yisu mo ho ba mo metiso enye papa no tra no nti na mi kasa o enye no nti na mi kasa o ba adi a e koso o ti asi because last time I call with banu no mo di papa ba ko mai 180 cedis ladies show ne adu 200
evo mamembo akakra na ade no se wonti ase ana ya kire wase de ewu mu ne se aban no sa bre na woka benchmark values na ban de bae no na dollar rate na etesen and aban de benchmark values na bae no e ko sen it at the end of the day no aban benchmark value no de bae no entimi impact because aban na entimi anya adwuma ma exchange rate no wentimi anyina cedi no etiano na person kana one money de
ma Jerry
when him say your port no the dollar and the calculation there and your Ghana cedis so the dollar na calculation are you aware and now win him the end make out onya botanya me educate you kakra and your dollar the calculating tell business community assembly ya kano yo anyway
yeah me can say me the way me marry mama ani akufado yeah me so me big gari the back for my me so me nyasi bedin. But I don't say, port was saying, who catch up the dollar, who the argument. The person who the port, who catch up brow, who can, I want to hear you great, who can, I want to hear you.
Why not say, as a man, anyway, thank you very much. But I say, why not? I can't say, you know, great. Anyway, we were to mind you.
Just a Jerry.
It's you.
Indeed, a cafe phobia and cafe cantamanto.
Yo.
My member about Dr. Mahmoud Baubiani, General Secretary, just to go there from and I'm need to get free and quite with my note. My Jerry, one of the idea cantamanto, I'm your dear quality eba. That's any Adiadina Moka, Abano, as well go over Mike, the party, because me put some papa no more and say, Inti Abano, Piso Obedi Adiano. When you're passing on BPA, the Sinana say, Omu say, Ebia Abanda Dani Tamuno. Let us know the mom, yeah, dear, we a couldn't say, because. Say you work and to be or can tell them $1 and what did it? Them $1 in the cost for no. Or can say dollar na a cost for ninety and I'm any money boy a day. But now dollar above from and so okra and your money back. Nurse and your money and your mother da cra. Walk of half for bar. Tadano and one other ball crown away for man I was from the same price now what they get. Omo kuye fi depi apan the tax go so and the fine go see the thought that you oboa on top e just for all Mike na dey be yes so omo buye estimate for papa no stop to see this no katamadin na one more can ma ya ni sisi sheka so be dem that yet me for the be omo fa so omo pe e na ya dey be omo ko am so omo ko ama omo ma bia me say be and then ko atina or family me a child about the want to so also press a binding to that as what is what on your who the Mike Nelson so
For last one, mama. Me Fabi for last one, mama. Me Michelle. Yes, sir.
Papa for no OCD. Marjorie, Mestre MPP aban. Say omano bibia beko yia. Uyi agedifo fima enye. Ana uyi ankran say ebie enyuma kana house efimu so a marjorie oman kire no enye. Enti aban agedifo entrance. No ni ankran entrance. We mi dey entrance. Na de aha no aban tie nwasem no. Na the tax you tax that every someone that never take dog and ha. Never when you be ya. The two will say about what or my Ghana. Because I just as no ye. You are that's right. Oh yeah, private money. Anyway, taking a Ghana for a year. Should need to fool. Should you to party complain about Pino. And it's a tax you be on the swat. I don't know what a member ever a member who call a quiet banner almost a co-one. Magdalene. Aba every better free and then I have 4. Can I forget Abana Basso? Abana idea, Amama and Yamabo I have 4. And then never won't see a day swa. Can I forget Abani Triso? Abani and Yamayi and the Manamabo I denum. And the Abani Piet can I 4 and some night and the 4th of normal canon. Man, quiet says, yeah, or be fast to go yanty, Kako own. About Sana, a cheap Abana, a chip at my bar by the Magdalene. I don't boy a thing. So boy a thing. And the new boy dear. About it, sir. I can put up a don't think I want to go. You never know why I want them. And that sounds wrong, Magdalene. I'm what?
Okay. I unit 100.9. Maybe I see. Obi say a mamma and so so. Onim the oka. See, they're their channel because onim the oka. Anyway.
No. Some be out here. What the bias?
What the bias is no one fan because the pani nim the oka. You're some more. Yeah, so a dear na walk actually say no. Budget at say finance ministry one more engagement. Engagement is a chance, Yana.
Engagement invitation be anyambai. I'm saying minister and I mean so abadia. But invitation be anyambai. Kobani say na. Timbi I say mbripre no won say abaya ye ne dey wie. No ababeka say this is what I'm going to do. This time we are calling for an early engagement. All the problems has been tabled. You Magasas Munimnia Ekosu. Any the way Nema. This is the time we engage stakeholders. Now Ubia into board the Bebuano. And I drink a crowd show budget or be presenting. And no about taking those things into consideration. Now, into me acquiring him. Because Yakase never be bria. High. Munna, Monshina. Now, near Munhiano. Yen free honor. Nafi, a beya a tax system no. Yen table nina. Nafi yen say. A juma say no, and no na eya. Nafi no, a quite bit me a dia faso no. It me a dia fasuma, obia who in hiano. Intino, you hope you said they will take all this, a friend saying. Nema table.
What the network charges, the special levy, COVID-19 health recovery levy. That's all.
Excise duty or more introduce here any side offense certain liability be no the buyer. And also version away ye free on unconsidered on your home baby. As I say, and no name idea a idea in your cry.
It is trade ministry
no. Near say sign bit here or profit now they can sign bit here home. 2.5 and I say 5%. I think it's seriously unfair.
But I know be make us to say yen fair to say VAT here came. Where to ya VAT and no man ade na de aba no where to ya ho VAT e wo port. Your babefa depending upon the category or fall within. Or so be to ya being at the flat rate of 4% or 17.5. You are all quacoton retail ne dear. 17.5 then you show was so. Then you know demand the final consumer inti and we baby say I didn't yet more worry. Say
17.5.
She said yeah calculating you added those values. Yeah. It will be better as the final consumer no. Yeah the amount no with ya.
But at the end of the day no. So we went to me and
it will go against you.
Levels will go down.
Go down, that's right.
Echo down, no. Let's just say, a Jumano Swan 80. Now, Faso will be and so Intina Ecobanis and layoffs in a beba. Intino, you will be a friend of systemic planning.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I know my way now. We are. Then we shall say, Ube to me, will focus now. I know. Ube to me, achieve, and answer one to me. Intino, say, one to me, achieve. We are. You also go back and then on the drawing table, now if you watch, I say, I had no me say be na wo yana sanye yi fe na che say so who say ne maybe na it detect against your progress know what do I do after you come back on the table and say be sure mean to me unkofo modos e bi nkofie na because one caller or you so as example echina na say ever padas fight or
na no untimi
because so
no wasake na go to
Nafi and I say Ejumana nipa miensa be no say o me maintain ba so hwe na afi entumi kura dia ndie oso tum na kofie anya say ekwan obefa so aska beba no ndie ese okofie ska no ntina afi obe nipa miensa nso endi mboa ntino kakra obi awo no ese support na sa business no etumi survive ya government benye ni sika but the way I economy there and hwe ni ya will be taxed out of out of taxation. Enye sekentia. Ejuma no eni na be gugu.
Okay.
Ntino e besra mo.
All right. Yada se na nwumre se onya adagye be kan ye ho na ya bon komo from AGYEMA business circles and said ya normal ekoso e wo ho. Yada se papa. Good. Abusia wote Samuel Agri or ye General Secretary the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana. Ono na yene no idin komo na nwumre e wo neat 100.9 so and ahane the torchlight ni si IK champion beta mechi o chinchi me no ama no echiri ha e de emame me sorry na eye DJ Bosco e take over nya me ya domo a ochina e bo 5:30 a me san no wehia e wo eye Ghana muntie so wo neat 100.9 midin the Jerry OSEI AGYEMANG yankopon shiro bibia me da sere be makwasi awoaje a channel manager, Dr. Paradexena, executive producer, and a general manager Boni Chidom. Kennedy Asante OSEI Esquire. I mean, should be here. Yebesen Shia Ochina. Our Ghana Monty. So, here go.